What up YouTube, Quasi here, and it is time for an oil change. You can see I got my oil here, Castrol Power RS Racing 4T. I got 6 quarts for 50 bucks and it's full synthetic. I haven't found anything online that says there's major differences between the types of full synthetics. I'm sure there is, but this should be fine. Before I had Mobil 1 Racing 4T 10W40. It worked just fine, so why not try this because it's a little bit cheaper. So first off, 4mm Allen key. Got to get this part of the frame off. Alright, 2 down. And then let me get my flathead screwdriver and pop this out. Yep, there. Oh, there's one more on the bottom apparently, but this is a push spring. I'm not going to be able to get this on the camera very well. But this right here, you push it in. And then it should let you get it out pretty easily. Yep, there we go. 5mm? Yep. Maybe. Yep, that's right. There we go. Let's put that to the side. Put all these pieces here so we don't lose that. Here's what we care about. Gotta take that off and let the oil drain. Probably gonna need my torque wrench actually because it's torqued on, I believe, at 14.5. You guys could tell I'm winging it here. I'm also not mechanically inclined, so I'm hoping this goes well. 17. Oh, there we go. That was easy. Actually, I better put on my gloves first. Got my nitrile gloves. There we go. Damn. I'm going to take this lid off to make it drain a little easier. I'll also have to stand up the bike at some point, since I have it just on my kickstand now instead of my rear stand. As you can see, my roommate likes to do woodworking. So he's got a lot of stuff here. I also have the bike in first gear just to help keep it from moving a little bit. Let that drain for a while. Still draining a little bit. I don't know if you could see that. Now let's take off the old filter, which this is always the struggle for me. Normally I buy the K&N oil filters, which have a little knob on the side that you can use. But since the dealer did this last one when I got my valves tuned, they put on the regular Kawasaki one, which is a pain to get off. Here's the ghetto oil filter removal method. This will be the messiest oil change you guys have ever seen, but I don't give a shit. There we go. Come on. Whoo! Holy shit. Lesson learned. Cover that before you do the ghetto method of removing an oil filter. We've been letting it drain for a while. I stood it up, let it drain some more. There's some oil on the headers. No big deal. It'll burn off. I guess I could get brake cleaner or something to clean that off, but I don't have any right now. Let me get the new oil filter. K&N 303 right here. Hopefully y'all can see that. Time to pour a little oil in here. And you can smear it around. And I'm just gonna hand tighten it. It probably looks like I'm tightening it more than I am because I got these slippery gloves, but it's just hand tightened. Now, our drain bolt and crush washer, that's the old one, so I'm gonna replace that. So it is recommended that you change the crush washer and your oil filter every time, but some people don't. From what I've been reading online, you could get away with it, but best practice is change everything that Kawasaki recommends to change. So I'll put the link to where I got everything online. Okay, hand tighten. Now here's where our torque wrench comes in. Where's that? 17mm. Flip it the other way. And 14.5. You know what? I think my torque wrench is very badly calibrated because it did not start clicking, and I'm pretty sure I tightened it way too tight. So lesson learned, make sure your torque wrench is calibrated and accurate or you can fuck shit up. Yeah, that's way too tight. Alright, I'm gonna go closer to hand tight this time. Fuck, I hope I didn't ruin this. It's a very bad idea to guess at this, but I don't have any other options at this point. We'll do 2 quarts all the way, and then we'll start checking for the third. Let's put the cap back on. Let's let it run for a little bit. Switch it into neutral. And when you turn it on and run it, the oil that you see will actually get lower because the oil's going throughout places. That's why you gotta stop and let it drain for a few minutes after you have your bike on to get an accurate reading. Alright, so it needs some more. It's almost 3/4. There's like just a little bit of it left. There we go. You see it's about halfway. I think we're good. Let's go. Alright, I let it run for a few minutes and I'm gonna let it drain for a few minutes and then I'll check. A little high maybe, but not over full, doesn't look like. Take it for a short spin. I know I said I never squid. I'm taking a short loop around the neighborhood, not going outside the neighborhood. I just want to monitor how this feels. Holy shit. Shifting feels way different. Way smoother. Damn, squidding feels really good though. Especially when you're like completely soaked in sweat and the wind's just blowing your shirt around. Wow, shifting is very much smoother. I guess it was time for an oil change. I think we're gonna call that good. Let me put the frame back on and check for leaks. Oil's burned off, you can smell it. Yeah, I think we're good. Like 2.5 quarts, 2 3/4 quarts, something like that. Alright, the world's worst mechanic has mostly completed an oil change. I'm still not 100% sure about this oil drain bolt because I think my torque wrench is way off and I tightened it way too much the first time. I'm hoping I didn't strip it too bad, but I guess we'll see. So all that's left, put the fairing back on. We'll just hand tighten it first. The right side goes on top. Tightening this back on, and I think we're good to go. There we go. Pop that back into place. I think we finally did it. Everything's back on. I'm gonna call it good. Alright guys, that's it. As always, if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, let me know. Peace.